All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. So today, continuing work on the multiplayer prototype. So there's a couple of things that I want to do here. I want to make the hitboxes appropriate for when you're swinging weapons, because right now the hitboxes are basically just a fixed size, which is no good when you're swinging a weapon, especially when you're doing like a big arc. So yeah, I'm gonna need to figure out what exactly I want to do there. There's a couple of ways that I could go about it, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a simple approach and just define a collision shape for each of the animation. What's the word I'm looking for? For each of the animations, the combo animations, and then find a way to coordinate spawning those shapes at the proper locations and so on and so forth. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I have some ideas for how I want to approach that. So that's what we'll be doing in the stream today, and we'll see how far we get with that. I have some other ideas for stuff we could work on as well. But yeah, so the focus right now is to get the combat feeling pretty good so that I can start building some of the supporting systems for a prototype, or for the prototype. The idea is like we want to get this tested as early as possible, so get a modest amount of content in there, get the game loop all done, make the combat feel good, and then yeah, just start collecting feedback about it, and we'll see how it goes. But before I get started, I'd like to remind everyone that I've got Gunforged available for sale, so if you're interested, you could definitely check that out. Got 44 reviews with positive, so that's great. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, if you want to support my work, definitely check that out if you're interested. I've also got Udemy courses available for sale, so you could purchase those if you want to learn how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. And yeah, with all that said, let's go ahead and get started here. Hello, Edox, welcome. Good to see you. Hello, Apple, welcome back. Hello, Luca. Good to see you as always. So I need to create hitbox shapes for this animation, for the animations here. So if I test this full animation, so I could test all the combos here, so I could see there's the full halberd combo. I can also test one at a time if I want to with this debug tool here. So the full animation is nice though, because I can do all that and just see how it looks. So yeah, I think let me actually do some work on the animation real quick. I'm not entirely sure about this. Well, it's fine. So yeah, I'm using tweens for these animations. I'm not sure if I'll stick with tweens. They're nice in some ways and not so nice in other ways. I think animating all these things is just going to be quite a bit of work, but you know, we'll do one thing at a time. So now I need to be able to configure the collision shapes here. And what I'm thinking about doing is, let me look at my script here. So in execute attack, it's going to emit attack execute requested. This is going to be listened to by the weapon root, I believe. Yeah. And this is calling execute attack. And this is what's creating the hitboxes. So I need some way of probably sending a shape over, like the appropriate shape to use. Let me think. There's a lot of weird collision shape stuff happening, but execute attack. So what I probably need is I need a way of getting Let's see, emit attack request execution. So what I'm thinking about doing is this. I should probably redo some of this stuff here, actually. Offhand remote transform. Okay. So what I'm going to do before I go any further is I'm going to use an inherited scene for this. I was trying to avoid using an inherited scene, but I don't think that's a good idea anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save branches scene. I can't do that. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go to my short sword here. Let's duplicate this. Let's call it base weapon. Base weapon. That is referencing the base weapon script. Got our animation root, weapon sprite. Yeah, I think that this needs to be changed. So we'll do node 2D rotation group. Okay, so we've got our weapon sprite here. I think that's fine. Let's duplicate this. Call this offhand remote transform. Let's mark those as unique names. Base weapon. Okay, there's our rotation group, and we've got our animation root. Cool. So now we've got our base weapon here. Let's change this to, yeah, I'm going to do this. Let's change this to node. Okay, and then before I go any further, what I want to do is I'm going to take this short sword here. I'm going to rename this. Rename this to short sword old, and then let's do halberd. Rename this to halberd old. Okay, scene, new inherited scene. We're going to inherit base weapon. We're going to call this short sword. Save. I'm going to go to my base weapon here. I'm going to clear this sprite and clear the offset here. Okay, and now short sword. Oh, this should not be called that. Short sword, rename. Okay, so now in here, there we go. Offset, what was it? -5. I think that's right. Was it -6? We'll do -6. Okay, so now we got a short sword. So now it's using an inherited scene, which is fine. And then let's also do a halberd. New inherited scene, base weapon, halberd. I'm going to go to my halberd old. I'm going to copy these properties, paste that here. Then I'm going to go to my halberd old, copy this properties, paste that here. Okay, main hand remote transform, copy properties, paste properties, and then copy properties there. Paste properties there. And actually, now that I think about it, I could do the same for the short sword old here, just to make sure that this is all correct. Copy properties. Except I'm going to need to remove the rotation. There we go. All right, so I've transferred all those over. So now I can delete these here. Don't save. Don't save. All right, now I need to build because I've updated a tool script. And if I did everything correctly, what I should see is that I can open up. Oh no, it failed to build. All right, let's restart. We'll restart. Hello, Hori Portier. Welcome back. Always good to see you. All right, let's see if this can be built again. Cool, let's go to my halberd now. Test full animation. Oh, it's not working. Oh, that's interesting. Why is that not working? Unrecognized UID. Oh, I'm using the wrong animation. Right, okay. Debug windup duration, that's why, okay. There we go, now we're back. So I gotta just make sure I choose the correct animation here. That's all. All right, so all of that is working. Now, before I go any further, I should probably make sure that this is working as I expect it to. Sweet. Okay, so the hitboxes are not good. So that's the thing that I need to focus on. So the reason I changed this to an inherited scene is now I can do this. I can add a node 2D here for combo hitboxes there. And I will go ahead and actually, I'm going to do combo hitbox shapes. Okay, so then in here, what I can do is I can add a new collision shape 2D. All right, sorry, the cat needed help. Classic cat. So do this collision shape 2D. Now the benefit of this is because this is all aligned, I should just be able to bring over the position of the hitboxes. So now what I can do is I can very easily, I can turn this attack animation duration up and I could test it to get a rough sense of what the swing area is like. And then I can change this to match that. Can I do this like about the center? Ooh, there we go. There we go. All right, so let's do this again. Okay, so it actually needs to be taller and shorter. Okay, that seems good to me. So that's our collision shape 1. Okay, let's hide that. This one we're going to make unique. Go to my halberd. Let's do debug weapon combo 2. That can actually be basically the same shape. So we'll keep that and then we'll do combo weapon 3 or combo shape 3 rather. So this one, I think this one can be a little bit larger. And then up a little bit more. Okay. All right, cool. So now I'm going to create a method in here. Weapon root, enemy attack. So what I'm going to do in here is this emit request attack execution int attack combo. Actually, you know what I'll do is I will send over the shape. So collision shape 2D combo shape. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is create a private method in here. Private collision shape 2D get attack combo shape int attack combo. This is going to be very easy, I think. Node, what did I call this? Combo hitbox shapes. Combo hitbox shapes. So in here, I can do so var child count is equal to combo hitbox shapes dot get child count. If attack combo is greater than child count, we're going to print a warning, gd dot push warning, no shape for attack combo. And then we'll put in that attack combo there. Sweet. And we'll just return null out of there. Otherwise, return combo hitbox shapes dot get child at attack combo -1. This is going to be a collision shape 2D. This should actually be, yeah, that's fine. Cool. So now in here, I can do get attack combo shape for that attack combo value. I'll have to do some shapes for the sword as well. Cool. All right. So then when we emit this request attack execution, this needs to pass in a collision shape 2D. So in my weapon root now, I'm going to take that collision shape 2D in there. And now I need to call execute attack. So I'm going to send over that collision shape 2D there. Okay, so we got the combo shape. All right. So now we're going to need to update some hitbox stuff here. And I'm actually going to rewrite something. So there's this collision shape 2D, which is fine. I'm actually going to disable this shape for now, because what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use a shape cast 2D. This is better for burst attacks, and you'll see why in a second here. So collision mask, we're going to set that to 0 by default. Okay, so shape cast. So I need to grab a reference to the shape cast 2D. Init node. Cool. Let's get a node private shapecast 2D, shapecast 2D. Okay. So the reason I'm doing a shapecast here is what I'm going to do is, so we've got this burst hit parameters here. What I need to do is I need to set the collision shape. So let's do this. Public void configure collision shape. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to do the following. Oh, there needs to be a shape. Okay, so we're going to configure this to areas. Today is kind of quiet here, full of lurkers. Yeah, that's fine. Lurkers are always welcome. Sometimes you just need a soothing voice of a very nerdy fellow to get your morning going. But yeah. I'm not doing anything terribly interesting right now either. I'm just trying to get this basic stuff set up. So there's another issue there. Agree, yeah. Agree. So anyway, so there's a little bit of a trickiness here. So basically what I want to do is, the reason I'm using a collision shape here instead of just a plain shape resource is I want to actually be able to use these positionings. So being able to say, you know, here's the collision shape 2D and the position that it should be at, so that I can pass along that entire node and I can use that information for how to set up the this shape cast here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say shapecast2d.position is equal to collision shape 2d.position. So we're going to set that up. Shapecast2d.shape is equal to collision shape 2d.shape.duplicate as shape 2d, like so. And then, so that configures the collision shape there. And then what I'm going to do is take that collision layer. So my layer needs to be, actually this should be, let's do this. Collision, we're going to configure collision. Bool is enemy. Collision layer is equal to is enemy, question mark, 1 shifted over 16 bits. So bit 16 is this one. Or I need to do bit 8 for player. So, or for enemies. 1 shifted over 8. It might be a good idea. It might be a good idea to private const uint enemy layer is equal to 1 shifted over 8. Private const uint player layer is 1 shifted over 16. And then I can do is enemy player layer enemy layer. We're going to get rid of this set enemy now. And then when I call burst with hit parameters, we're going to get rid of this stuff here. So we're going to say, so once that shapecast2d has been configured, we'll say shapecast2d dot force shapecast update. And then let's do shapecast2d dot target position is equal to vector 2.0. I think this is local to the shapecast2d. So I actually don't need to do that. I'll just set that in the editor. Target position to 0. Okay. We're going to force the shapecast2d update, and then I can do for each var collision in shapecast2d.get. I actually forgot how to get the overlapping stuff. I'm actually going to do somewhat of a little bit of a hack. So it looks like I need to do get collision count. So let's do this. I equals 0. I is less than shapecast2d.get collision count. I plus plus. Var collider is equal to shapecast2d.get collider. I. This returns an object. And I'm just going to gd.print collider because I actually don't remember what that's supposed to be. But, so we got this hitbox now. So what I'm going to do here is in this execute attack, what I can do is I can do hitbox dot configure collision. And in here, I'm going to pass in that combo shape and then is enemy. And then all I need to do is call the hitbox.burst, which is great. So that's going to configure the collision. It's going to set the collision layer and everything. Now the shapecast2d.collision layer, collision mask. Oh shoot, wait a minute. Yeah, so collision mask is equal to the collision layer of the area or the hitbox component here. Actually, that seems not ideal. I might have to look at how I did things in Gunforged here. Hello, Polaris. Thank you so much for the well wishes. Thank you so much, Snupbill, for your IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, shoot, there's only a collision mask here. I don't think this is going to work. I might have to modify my hurtbox component as well. Hurtbox component. I might have to put this on the same layer and mask. Well, we'll see. I don't think this is going to work, but let's see. So shapecast 2D, position, shape, exclude parent. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to set the collision mask to the collision layer, which is not going to work. For shapecast update, print collider. So, you know, it's not going to work, but we'll see. And I should probably do debug visible collision shapes. I actually don't know how I'm going to visualize this well, but I've got the message yummers here. Of course, of course, of course. Thank you again, Snupbill. Giving up on assembly reloading. Well, that's not good. Tool scripts with C# are awful buggy. Awful buggy. Okay, we got some errors here. Argument count mismatch. No shape for attack combo 1. I mean, that's fine. I should be able to send null through here. Oh, wait. Oh, forgot to send the combo shape through here. There we go. Oops. So that will get rid of that error. We still got some debugger errors though. Update shapecast invalid shape. Yeah. So I might as well fix that up too. shapecast2d dot shape is equal to null. I'm going to say gd dot push warning, no shapecast shape configured, and we'll just return early. That should clear up that error. Oh, we got a system null reference exception. Yeah, I gotta fix these up too. Should basically be able to handle null gracefully. I don't want to get spammed with errors, but I do want to put warnings in place just for me so that I know that if something isn't working, I know exactly where it's going wrong. Update shapecast shape. Why is it trying to update the shapecast shape? Invalid shape, what do you mean? Yeah, so that warning is printing, but it's not returning. Oh. Maybe I should do a queue free there. Right, because the shapecast... Actually, you know what I'll do? I think what I need to do here is I need to do this. Hitbox component enabled needs to be off. There we go. So it was trying to, every physics frame, it was trying to do the shapecast update. But if I disable it, I think I can still use the force shapecast update and that will still work. Okay, so all those warnings are good now. Let me see. Setting shapecast 2D enabled to true is not required for this to work. Okay, so now the other problem that I'm running into is the hitbox component. I think, unfortunately, if I want to use this shapecast bursting, I actually need to put these hitbox components on layers as well. So, yeah. So I need to go to my player now. Go to my hitbox component here. Because the shapecast 2D does not exist on a layer, so the way that it works, and I'm not a huge fan of this changing Godot for, but the way that it works is that the mask is what essentially determines the listener of the area entered signal, right? So you can view the layer as like the passive, I'm on this layer, but if you're only on a layer, you're not going to receive area entered signals. You're not going to receive collision notifications if you're only on the layer. You have to have the mask configured, and then whatever the mask detects is going to send the notification, the collision notifications. It used to be, I believe in Godot 3, it used to be that if you had either the layer or the mask configured, then the area entered collision would happen or would be notified. But that changed in Godot 4. And so the problem is that typically I like my hitbox components to just exist on a layer, meaning that the hitbox component I like to just have on a layer, because then it becomes a just like a passive, hey, I'm a hitbox, I exist, and then it's up to the hitboxes to listen for things on that layer and then respond to them. But I can't do that with the shapecast because the shapecast only exists on a mask. So now I need to make sure my hitboxes have the layer and the mask configured. And that's okay, I guess. The problem here is that, though, if enemies run into each other, they will report collisions with each other because this area entered. So what I might do, actually, is I might change this. Maybe I'll do enemy burst layer. This will actually solve that problem. And then for player, got the player burst layer. So maybe I'll just do that. And then enemy burst layer is equal to this, and then player burst layer is equal to this. Okay, so that should help. Okay, so I should be able to see colliders being printed now, I think, if I did it all correctly. So let's see, that's bit 9. This is bit 18. Cool. All right, let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. Let's see if I get colliders being printed. Yeah, there we go. So I've got area 2D being printed because those are the collider objects. So what I do here, it's very interesting. For shapecast update, if collider is not area 2D, I might even make this fancier. Hurtbox component, then I'm going to continue. So now we're going to be listening for hurtbox components here. And only. And now what I can do is I can notify this. So if I go to my hurtbox component, so there's on area entered here. The kind of hack that I do, which is kind of interesting, is I do hurtbox component dot emit signal area 2D dot signal name dot area entered, and then I pass in this. So I'm basically just hooking into the hurtbox component, and I'm just emitting its own area entered signal. Again, that's a little bit of a hack, but the nice thing about that is that I can just hook right into that, and it just works. So if I ever happen to listen for area entered anywhere else, the burst from the for shapecast update is going to work. So it's not exactly the best thing to do. You typically don't want to be manually emitting signals that are supposed to be for Godot only, but given that this is an Area 2D, and I'm basically just replacing the Area 2D collision detection functionality with a shapecast, it makes sense to me to just go ahead and send that on over. Hello, Fiskits. I just tried Gunforge today and I would have some feedback. Where's the best place to put it? I think in the Steam forums would be the best place. Thank you for trying it. Thank you for trying it. Very much appreciate it. Okay, so that burst is just going to happen now. And hopefully if I did everything correctly... Oh, I missed. Is it not working? Maybe the collider is not gd.print collider.getType. Did I have errors there that I wasn't paying attention to? Oh, yeah. Unable to cast. Okay, so that's a problem. It's interesting. Okay. Do I need to do a hard cast here? Might have to do a hard cast, so I'll do var collider. Let's do this. This returns a Godot object. Can I just cast this to an area 2D? I wonder if that forcible cast is going to work. Invalid cast exception. That's interesting because this was printing hurtbox component. I might need to, let me go look at how I'm doing this in Gunforged here. Let's see. Hitbox component. If result, yeah. Oh, Shapecast 2D collision result. I might want to do that. What is the Shapecast result? Is that in my Godot utilities? Oh, very nice. Okay, maybe I'll just copy this then. Gotta love lifting code. If shapecast2d.is colliding, I'm not really sure I need to do that. Collider doesn't look like a real word anymore. Okay. I don't know why that would be any different, but let's go ahead and see. Yeah, it's not able to cast. Why is this not... Oh, you know what? Why is that not able to cast? That's weird. gd.print results.collider. Unless, am I looking at the wrong thing? The more I read the word collider, the more it looks French. Yeah. That's true. It can't cast. Why can't it cast? These are area 2Ds. What is going on here? Does it specifically not like... Maybe it specifically doesn't like casting to my custom class. Maybe I just need to cast it to an area 2D and just emit that signal there. That might be the case. I don't know why it wouldn't allow me to... Maybe it just doesn't have that data about it being my custom class. I don't know why it wouldn't though. Nope, it's still an invalid cast. What the heck? Why is that an invalid cast? That's weird. It's literally telling me if I print the result.collider. Hold on, back to Gunforged real quick. Back to Gunforged real quick. It's literally doing the same check here. That's really interesting. It's literally doing the same check. That's very, very curious. I wonder if there's been a Godot 4 change that has broken this. The only difference really between these projects is that Godot's or Gunforge is on 4.3 and not on 4.4. So why can't it cast? That's so weird. Can I do something weird then? Can I do variant.from results.collider.cast.as I don't know why that would work, but can you open a copy in 4.3 and check? I mean, I would, but I don't have 4.3 on my system anymore. I don't have 4.3 on my system anymore. Otherwise, I would. Area 2D. So this is working. Let's see if this works. Hello, AnyKey. All right, let's see. Am I still going to get an invalid cast exception? What in the heck? Unable to cast object of type. Huh? Okay, I'm going to close Gunforged. This is weird. There must have been something broke here between 4.3 and 4.4. I'm gonna guess that's true. I'll probably do some testing after stream and make sure that's the case, but... Why is it not printing the test anymore? Hold on a second. Am I missing something? It's literally printing the area 2D, which means that the cast... This is successful. It gets to this point. Where's the cast failing? Invalid, unable to cast object of type to Godot area 2D. Huh? What? So the cast is not failing here. Is it failing on this line? What happens if I get rid of this? That doesn't make any sense. I guess it was failing on that line. Okay. All right. Let's do this then. Maybe the Godot signal doesn't like your function. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, yeah, so the cast, okay. So the cast is actually failing here. Let's do this. Might be something to do with the emit signal that's happening there. Okay, yeah, so it actually is printing the hitbox component. So this check is actually working. So it's the emit signal that's not working here. For some reason, there's a cast error here. I don't know why, but what I suspect I can do is I can do result.collider like that, maybe. So just reference the Godot object and emit the signal. I wonder if there's something happening under the hood, a cast or something that's happening under the hood that's not valid for some reason. Nope, there goes my theory. Is this perhaps being handled in the hurt box component? Area 2D, other area. Oh, maybe the cast is failing here. What happens if I do a new area 2D, just for fun? Okay, so that's not failing. Okay, so I guess it doesn't like... It doesn't like this? I don't know why that would make a difference. Let me go back to Godot, or Gunforge. I keep saying Godot. Go back to Gunforge. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I'm doing that emission there with this keyword. And that's an area 2D. So yeah, I don't know why that would be breaking. It's always the little things you get tripped up on, you know? I guess because... Maybe for some reason this is still a Godot object. So maybe the problem is that... What happens if I do... Oh, man. This is kind of weird. What happens if I do this? If I just make this a generic object, other area. I don't think I want to do that, but I'm just curious to see if that's going to go away now because it's a more general argument. Nope. What in the world is going on? Okay. All right. So that's kind of unfortunate. What happens if I do this? So I create a method for it. Okay, let's do this public void. I'm gonna rename this to handle burst. All right, let's see if that works. I wonder if it's just a problem with passing that collider through the signal. I don't know why that would be the case, but you know, you never know. Okay, yeah, so now that's working. Kind of. It's kind of working. That's weird. So it doesn't like when I send that collider object through the signal, but I can just call handle burst directly. That's really weird. No, a debugger wouldn't help here because I was fairly confident that it was an issue with the internals of Godot. So debugger wouldn't help. So I guess I can just do this as a workaround for now, but that's kind of unfortunate that I can't pass that collider Godot object. Or wait. I wonder if there's a better way to do this. Let's see. Box component emits signal. Yeah, I really don't know why that signal wouldn't work. There's something weird going on. I mean, I don't think this is really supposed to be a supported behavior anyway. I don't think you're supposed to, yeah. It doesn't like sending the hitbox component through an argument that I'm emitting from the hitbox component. So, that's interesting. Is there a way to get the base Godot object? I wonder if there's a way to do that. Object, like reference. Get, let's see. Wonder if there's a way to get like the Godot object, the underlying Godot object. So you're passing the area 2D to itself in the signal call. I am emitting the area entered signal on the hitbox component with this area 2D as the argument. It's kind of wonky, which I guess it makes it understandable why this might not be supported, but there's a reason I'm doing that, which is that it kind of just hooks right into the Godot sort of signal, area 2D signal pipeline. But if I just have to call handle burst, then I'll do that. And I'll just deal with that as necessary. Okay, I'm just going to do that. So we'll just say handle burst this. And that will have to be good enough. It works in Gunforged, so I'm assuming something changed in 4.4 that broke that. Or, if it's not intentional functionality, intentionally supported functionality, then that would be all right, I suppose. Okay, so one problem with these collision shapes is that I have to account for the fact that the player is actually stepping forward. So I wonder if... Let's go back to my halberd. First of all, these collision shapes should probably be... Probably go a little bit back as well. What in the world? Gotta make sure that these are lined up. Okay. All right, let's see how that looks. Or feels, rather. So you're passing... Oh, I already answered that. Welcome, by the way, average MS-DOS enjoyer. So that doesn't seem like that should be a miss there. That doesn't seem like that should be a miss either. I wonder if the collision or the shape cast 2D is not being put in the proper position. So this position is 8. So let me copy this. Let me just see what this looks like. So copy this. I go to my hitbox component. If I do my shape cast and I say my position is 8. Oh, you know what? Well, actually, let's see, paste this. Make unique. I think probably, wait a minute. Is this, oh, the hitbox component is not being rotated. It's not being rotated properly. So that's why it seems weird. Right. Okay. So that's the next thing that I need to do then, is I need to rotate this hitbox component. So if I go to my weapon root, hitbox dot rotation is equal to attack direction dot angle. I think that will work. Okay, yeah. That is definitely better. Oof. Okay. You can bail out of an attack early. So the halberd has a larger windup. The idea is the halberd will hit harder, right? Okay. Goodness, there's a lot of work to do on this, but I think that's feeling all right for now. So let me make sure I didn't do anything ridiculous. Oh, I should probably make sure this works in a networked fashion as well. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Host, join, play on the client just to be sure. Yeah, it all pretty much works. Oof. Bam. I might as well go ahead and put on a helmet here. Boop. Okay. Okay, I think that's feeling pretty decent, actually. I have to do the hitboxes for the sword now. Still not sure, you know, how all this is going to work, but... You know, slowly, baby steps. Okay, work on weapon collisions. Okay, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break and get a refill on my drink and all of that good stuff that I usually do. In the meantime, please check out Gunforged. It's available for purchase on Steam. I also have 2 Udemy courses available for sale if you want to learn how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. So definitely check out those links in the description below. Again, give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back, and we'll continue on with this work. Okay, I'm back. All right. So much tweening, yeah. Still haven't decided on if I want to stick with tweens or not for my animations. The nice thing about tweens is that you can get some really natural behaviors that are kind of hard to replicate in Animation Player, but you also have to specify it all with code, and it's like, you know, I think the weapon animations are going to be a lot of work, regardless of which solution I choose. But, you know how it goes. Okay, so I need to do the short sword combo hit shapes. Oops. Add child node collision shape 2D. Okay, so let's try some test animations. Why is that so fast? Oh, no hit shape. Oh, I need to do this. If engine is editor hint return. Okay, let's build that. We don't want to be emitting that signal anywhere, I don't think. Although, I guess it doesn't really matter. I do know how to be, yeah. Okay, so collision shape, let's see. Why is that? That second phase of that animation is so quick. Why is that happening? I guess that's just how it is. Am I not doing a parallel somewhere? No, it seems to be okay. Alright, well, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, let's get these collision shapes working. New rectangle shape. So this one should be relatively straightforward. Collision shape, we'll just go out here. Shrink this a little bit. That works. And we'll just duplicate that for the second one. Make this unique for the third one because this needs to be thinner and then go out here. This probably is a little bit too long. Okay. So let's go ahead and test that out. And it should mostly be the enemies that are hitting me. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Too many enemies. Might need to have some kind of system in place to reduce the enemy hitbox sizes for the weapons. Just for the sake of making it easier on the player, but we'll not worry about that just yet. Let's see how it feels from the player's end. So we'll put on a short sword. Excuse me. Nice. Equip that. Equip this. Okay. Yeah, getting locked into that animation is actually kind of fun. You have to really commit. Oh, and I can dodge if I need to. Nice. During that wind-up, especially with the heavier weapons that have longer wind-ups, I can cancel out with a dash if I need to. Oof. Yeah, a lot of work to do still on the combat, but I think it'll be fine. It's starting to shape up pretty decently already. Put the short sword back on. Oh, I meant to grab the short sword. That's the whole reason why I'm fighting these waves, is I want to put on another short sword, make sure that transition is working well. There we go. Obviously that hand needs to be fixed, but I think that short sword attack might be a little bit too fast. Just bump it up slightly. That was probably too much of a bump up. Okay, I was out of energy. Okay. Sweet. So I think that is fine. Short sword collision shapes. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I think the next thing that I want to start is, let me do something really quick. I'm going to merge that branch. And I'm going to start working on some new itemization stuff that I think is going to be nice. I mean, I do need to... I need to come up with a system for player abilities as well, because I think I want every weapon to have a certain ability type. So kind of the Guild Wars model of whatever weapon you have equipped kind of determines what abilities you have. But I'm not sure if I want to do that. I mean, there's pros and cons to both approaches. If I had like a wizard or something, I want them to be able to use a sword if they want to. I guess it's more of a problem, like, because with a wizard, you can just give them, like, oh, you have a fireball, and, like, you can just cast that regardless of what weapon we have. But if you're like a warrior, and you have a leap slam ability, but you're using a staff, like... So I could either make the abilities innate to the classes, or I could make the abilities innate to the equipment. I guess I just had to experiment with it and see. Let's see if this is going to break when I switch over. I don't trust Godot. I'm going to restart. I don't trust Godot when I switch branches. I dig the component nature of the weapons that enemies can use the same. Yeah, I think that's going to really make my life a lot easier. Good morning, Christopher. Haven't been here in a couple days. No worries. How's it going? It's going well. Going well. Just continuing to work on the multiplayer player prototype. Went down a full rabbit hole of visually mapping out my finite state machine UML. It was extensive. Wow. Is that for your player, the finite state machine? Okay, so let me think of what I want to do next. So I need to be able to have like affixes on loot. I also want to, I don't know how to access. .com/. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if I can pull it up. There we go. I guess zooming in didn't really help. Wow. Grab state, run state, grounded, normal. That is very extensive. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure that took a long time to write out. It's very cool. Plant UML has no control over placement, unfortunately. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, what do I want to do? So I think I have the ability question to do. I also have the stat question to do, like weapon requirements, having intelligence and strength and whatnot. I still don't know how that's going to work. Maybe not have requirements, but make the weapons scale. I think that'd be better. So instead of having weapon requirements like typical RPGs, just make the weapon and armor scale based on what it scales with, and then have the player have a certain amount of intelligence or whatever. Okay, so I want to do intelligence, strength, and dexterity at some point. I need to do affixes for weapons. I think doing getting an affix system set up is going to be important, but also the abilities that are associated with the weapons. I have to think about how to architect that whole system as well, or at least decide that I want. There's a lot of work to do on this. This is, I hope I didn't bite off more than I can chew, but we're going to try it. We're going to give it a good old try. Let's start with an affix system, I think. I'll get that started, and then, because I know that I'm going to want, like, very nice loot itemization, so I might as well get a system for that in place. Okay, so I'm going to create a new resource. Data, new file, affix, resource. A lot of similarities to Gunforged, actually. But I think it should be different enough that it's going to be fine. Because in Gunforged, the affixes were like, they changed everything about how your guns worked. That became the rune system. But in this game, an affix is just going to be like a stat that's on a weapon. Do I need a display name? Actually, do I need this? Do I need a resource for this? I probably do, but let me think. Let's do this. You know what? I think I need to create this through the Godot editor. Create new script. Let's do this. Create new folder. Create new script. Affix resource. There we go. It created the UID now. Okay, so there's our global class. Let's create a new script. Let's do base affix. Public abstract partial class. Base affix. Namespace. game.data.affix. Okay. Base affix, affix resource. Let's do namespace game.data.affix. Okay. Public abstract partial class. That. And then the next thing that I want to do is something like create new resource. Nope. Create new script. Energy. Namespace game.data.affix. Okay, energy extends base affix. So I actually don't know how this is going to work exactly. I think I probably need an affix registry, so let me do this. I might move all this stuff. Let's create a new folder for data. We're going to move the weapon and the armor into data there. Then we're going to create a new folder for affix. Create new resource. Let's build. Create new resource. Affix resource. We'll call it energy. That is basically not going to do anything except just be an ID for now. I'm sure we'll need to fill out that information later, but there's that. And then we're going to go to the registries here. See the armor registry. This is data/armor. And then we'll go to the weapon registry. This is data/weapon. We're going to copy this. We're going to create a new file. Create new script, affix registry, affix registry, affix. Return that. gd.load affix resource.initialize. We don't need that, so we can combine these. Okay. All right, so there's my affix registry. So now in my class, ideally, I would be able to write whatever modifiers this has. So, so basically what's happening in here is I've got the weapon and I've got this armor actually. And this has an energy and health value. I think that these are going to go away. These are going to become affixes. So let's create also a new health affix so we'll do an affix resource. We're going to call this health.tres. And I'm going to create a new script in here. This one is called health. Create, copy this, paste it in there, call it health. Okay. So those are our classes. So what I'm going to do now is in my armor resource, what I want, or maybe I should put this at the item resource level. Maybe I should put this at the item resource level. So the item resource here, I probably want private affix. So this actually needs to be I think this needs to be base affix. Affixes. Like so. Base affix affixes. Oh, I need to deserialize this too. Oh, son of a gun. So I'm going to need to implement serialization and deserialization for all the weapon affixes as well, which is fine. I mean, I just do this in a very predictable manner. It's fine. Being able to pick up weapons from enemies would be sick, since they seem to use ones that players use as well. Don't think it's in scope, but it sounds fun. I mean, that's something that I could definitely support, because it would be relatively trivial. The problem is, I think, so the enemy weapons have different stats than what the player uses, because the player might deal 50 damage per hit, whereas an enemy might deal 10 damage per hit. And so if the enemy dropped its exact weapon, it would actually be very underpowered compared to what the player can get. That said, I could just drop the weapon visually, right? And then randomize its stats like it's a normal loot item, like it's a normal drop. I still have to decide how I want that to happen. I don't know if I want things to drop during the run, or like during the combat phase. I was going to have things drop after the combat phase is over, but I think there is an opportunity there to drop weapons and armor from the enemies that is being worn. But yeah, I have to see how the game shapes up first and see what happens. So I'm going to need to make this networked. But anyway, dupe.base.affixes is equal to affixes. So we'll just create a new array there. So the armor, resource, energy, and health. So that's going to go away. So if I do player data manager from paperdoll data. So this paperdoll data contains references to items. So I think what I need to do in here is I need to do the following. We're going to create a new player stats object when we call from paperdoll data. And we're going to say energy is equal to default energy, health is equal to default health. These are all placeholders. These will change. Okay. Weapon damage equals 0. Get rid of all these things. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in my base affix here, oops, I just closed it. Abstract, so public abstract void modify player stats. Player stats. And so that's going to need to be required to be overridden by every affix. And so in here, in the energy, what I would do is I would say, for example, player stats dot energy plus equals 50. Obviously, I would randomize the value here, but player stats dot energy, I can't set it. Okay. I'll just make those publicly accessible for now. And then here, player stats dot health plus equals 25. Again, all of that's going to change, but that's kind of how the flow will go. And then what I'm going to do is for each var item in paperdoll data dot all items, we're going to say item for each var affix in item dot, and I'm going to need the affixes as well. So let's go to item resource. Let's change this to be publicly readable, but we're going to make it privately writable. Actually, Yeah, let's just do get private set here. And put that down there. Okay, so then I can do this. Item.affixes, affix.modify player stats. Pass in the player stats there. We can get rid of this. For each var weapon and weapon. Player stats. Okay, so basically what's happening is I can pass in paper doll data. Paper doll data contains data about all the equipment that a player has equipped. And it also can be serialized to a network dictionary, so it can be passed to all the clients. This from network dictionary is happening in here, but I also have to network dictionary. This in here is going to have to serialize all of the affixes as well. So that means that I'm going to need to write serialization and deserialization logic for every affix type. Because the problem here is that these can't just remain classes. They're actually going to be like energy value, right? So I'm gonna have a method in here that's like, you know, public override void randomize, you know, and then it's going to choose, it's going to say var my energy level is equal to mathutil.rng.randef range from anywhere from like 10 to, you know, 50 or whatever. And, you know, I would probably pass in some randomization parameters like what difficulty are you on, what level are you on, so on and so forth. But that's very specific data to this instance of this class. So that has to be serialized so it can be sent over the network to the other players and then deserialized back into an instance that matches exactly. So I'm going to need to come up with some kind of standardized way of doing that. But for now, we're just going to hard code these values. And I'm also going to need to probably have a toString method or something on each of these. But we're not going to worry about that yet. So anyway, so it's going to iterate over every item on the player and just modify the player stats in accordance with those affixes. So it's iterating over every affix on every item, modifying the player stats in accordance with that item. And then I'm going to have to do the same thing for weapons, but I'll just keep this the way it is now, and that will return the player stats. So anytime I call from paper doll data, I'm going to be basically just constructing this giant stats object based on all the player's equipment. And this player stats object is ultimately what's going to drive everything. So you're going to have energy, health, armor, you know, all that stuff. Energy recharge rate, all that kind of good stuff. And then, yeah, so that's basically how it will go. So now what I want to do is, now I need to be able to generate some affixes. Gotta head out, good luck and have fun. Thanks for joining, average MS-DOS enjoyer. Good to see you. So now in my player data manager, or reward manager, I guess. So this is where I would randomize things. So I actually need to create an affix loot table. So this run loot table manager, private read only loot table affix resource, affix loot table equals new. We'll create private void, create affix loot table. And I might have certain affixes that can only appear on certain types of weapons. I'm not going to worry about that just yet, but I'm just going to make every affix available on every single item. And that might actually be the more fun way to do it too. Obviously, there might need to be some different affixes for weapons versus armor, but I kind of like the idea of having like a really powerful, like legendary affix, you know, just basically drop on anything. I think that'd be cool. But anyway. I'm going to create the affix loot table for each var affix ID in affix registry.all IDs. affix loot table dot add item, affix registry dot from ID, affix ID. Cool. Public affix resource, pick affixes, int count. Affix resource. So this is going to be basically the same here. Actually, I think I can just do this. Affix count is greater than 0. Affix loot table dot pick item. Oh, let's do this. For int I equals 0, I is less than count, I plus plus. Affix resources I is equal to affix loot table dot pick item. Okay, and then we can return affix resources there. Then in here, so this items, I'm picking that equipment item. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say public void add affixes. Now this is going to have to be an I enumerable of base affix. Affixes dot add range. Oh wait, this is not a list. Let's make it a list. Affixes dot add range base affixes. So this needs to go from affix resource to base affix. So this is kind of how the flow will work. So this, let's return a base affix array from here to instantiate concrete versions of that class. The affix resources, so this is going to return. Now what I need to do is I need to have in here a method that's public public base affix to affix class, or let's call it to base affix. We'll pass in some randomization parameters here, but basically what will happen is I'm just going to get this flow in place here. Public abstract void randomize. Implement abstract class. Implement abstract class. We'll just leave those empty for now. Like I said, just getting the flow in place here. So to base affix, we need to be able to load the affix class and then call randomize. So actually, let me look at how I'm doing that in Gunforged here. There's actually a very nice way of doing this. So this load affix script, this is basically what I need. So I need the ID. I'm just going to copy this stuff over. Public C, let's do private. C# script is equal to that. Base affix script path. Private const string base affix script path is equal to what? Res scripts data affix. I think that's right. Script name. So this is going to be, bring this on over. Script name is Pascal ID .cs. This needs to be using link. Okay, perfect. And I can just actually just bring this on over here. Sweet. So when I call initialize, it's going to load up that script. So now what I can do is I can do this. So in toBaseAffix, I can say var base affix is equal to cast it as a base affix C# script dot new. So that creates a concrete instance there. And then what I can do is I can say base affix dot randomize, and then I can return that base affix. Okay, so then in my affix registry, I need to call initialize on this. Okay, and then in here, no, not in here. In my affix resource, I need to do public affix resource duplicate. Var dup is equal to base.duplicate as affix resource. Dup.id is equal to id. Dup.pascal ID is equal to pascal ID. Dup.c# script is equal to C# script. Return dup. Okay, so the reason that I need to do that is because when the affix registry duplicate is called here, it's gonna configure all that stuff. Okay, and then, so we got initialize, so it's loading up the C# script, cool. Calling randomize, so then back to here, I can do return affix resources dot select x dot toBaseAffix. So this is going to return my list of concrete affixes here. Okay, and then if I go back to my room reward component, I can do this now. So I could say var affixes is equal to this dot get run manager, run loot table manager dot pick affixes mathutil.rng.rand f range. And I'm going to need to make this a unique thing as well, but let's just go ahead and do that. Rand I range. So there's a lot of work that I need to do here, but oh, I need to do this for each item. So we're going to do affixes item.add range, or add affixes. Cool. So that's our list of concrete classes there. So what it's doing is it's picking a number of random equipment items. Then for each item, it's picking a number of random affixes, and then it's adding that to that item. So one problem is I don't actually have a way of seeing which affixes are on the item, but I'm going to quickly do that very easily. Tooltip, item tooltip. So in here, armor resource.health. So all this is going away. So that's going away. Goodbye. Oh, the to network dictionary. Yeah, that's not gonna work either. Okay, well, I'll just leave those there for now, I guess, because all that needs to be reworked. This is Gunforge. We'll get rid of that. So that needs to be reworked, but for now, what I'm going to do in the item tooltip is I'm actually just going to get rid of this. I'm going to say statlabel.text is equal to string.empty. For each var affix in armor resource dot affixes, statlabel.text plus equals affix dot get type. I'm just going to do this very simply for now. Obviously, I'm going to have like a two-string method in here, but we're just going to add the name, and then we're also going to add a new line, just that we can see like which items are actually, or which affixes are actually being generated on the item. And if I did everything correctly, what I should be able to see is when I kill the first enemy. So if I go to my entity spawner, I'm just going to spawn one enemy here. When I kill the first enemy, what should happen is I should see tooltips for armor, at least, that will have some of those affixes. Oh, and the combat isn't working anymore. Oh, main hand, offhand. Let's do this. All right, all non-null items. Okay. Good morning, Michael. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Of course, it didn't drop any armor. It's only going to work for armor right now, I think. Or maybe not. No, it'll work for armor only. There we go. Iron helmet. So blank, blank, blank. Well, let's see if I equip this, if this does anything. It did not do anything. Yeah. Here's what I'll do. Move this out. Item resource.affixes. Stat label dot text is equal to string dot empty. So it's not, I wonder if it's not generating. Let's put a breakpoint here. And let's go ahead and try it out. Launch. If you make a multiplayer course with Godot, Steam, and C#, you can just take my money. Okay. Maybe I will. Maybe I should. Okay. So it generated one affix. Why is it not printing anything? And if I equip this, it doesn't do anything. Or I didn't equip it. Oops. That generated 0 affixes. That generated 1 affix. I wish I could know what type of affix this is. In any case, it doesn't matter because it's not working. I wonder if I need the network I might need the network synchronization stuff. I think that's maybe what's happening. So I don't know if this is going to work unless I have the network serialization and deserialization in place. So I might have to just do that. But I think the general flow is correct here for having an affix system. I just need to go in and figure out why that's not showing up on the items themselves. So yeah, I'll figure that out. The Godot multiplayer articles, tutorials just feels kind of sparse and limited. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's not a whole lot of good multiplayer tutorials, so that's something that I want to do for sure. But yeah, I just need to get some time to do it, that's all. Okay, well, I'm gonna commit this. Begin work on affix system. And that's going to be it for the stream today. So I'm going to go grab some lunch, but thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching. Again, I've got Gunforged. It's out. So if you want to support my work, you can purchase that. The link is down below. You can also purchase one of my Udemy courses. The links for those are in the description below as well. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for chatting. It's great, as always, having you all here. And of course, thank you to the VOD watchers and lurkers out there as well. You are appreciated too. I'll see you here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll continue on with this multiplayer prototype. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.